welcome back. And of course, on that Sunday afternoon, we'll be kicking off things with City, the champions, taking on Huddersfield, a team that's probably having a bit of a problem right now.
Yes, Tony, we've all seen that when a team is crowned the champions, they usually step the foot off the gas. But I think Man City's celebration is by giving us more nice games and goals. And I don't see anything for Huddersfield.
And chasing records.
And chasing records, Tony. We still know they are targeting their 100 point mark. But Huddersfield going into Man City, I sense trouble again for this Huddersfield team, given that City it's I think their last game at home, and they're trying to bid farewell to Yaya Toure,
who is a club legend.
Who is a club legend, by the way. It's going to be a hard game for Huddersfield.
Of course, very interesting. Manchester City will be coming in this one. Like Tim said, Pep has rallied his troops to try and give all the teams that follow, to give them the best that they've been all season. Yeah. Like he knows he's trying to be the best team that has ever played in the Premier League. Yeah. So that is already in the back of their minds. We've seen it before. It didn't affect them in any way. They beat a team just last weekend, 4 goals. So this is a game that we should expect a very, very big win. But also Huddersfield on 35 points. They should be trying not to concede a very heavy defeat, seeing as they're worryingly close to the drop.
Yes, Tony, that is the only incentive Huddersfield is going to have in this game, and I believe Wagner will be telling his troops to avoid a big loss, because they have a Man City over the weekend, they have Chelsea and Arsenal to go, and with Southampton being 32 points and they are on 35, it's worrying time for them. They have to avoid any loss in the goal difference.
Of course, very interesting there. I've gone for 3-1 win for Manchester City in this one.
Yes, even if Huddersfield come defensive, I think Man City will thrash them 4-0.
Of course, Man City is still chasing a lot of records. They want to get, first time a club is getting 5 players in double figures. They now have 4 already. So that's a big incentive, of course, for them. And after that game, we'll be having Arsenal hosting their nearest rivals, Burnley.
Yes, Tony. This is it's 6th against 7th. We don't want to talk about Arsenal and Burnley in the same bracket, but this is what
battle for 6th place.
Yes, it's what we before our eyes. Wenger has taken Arsenal this low, and now they're fighting for 6th place. Tony, Arsenal on 57, Burnley on 54. Though Arsenal has a game in hand, Burnley still has an incentive.
And a goal difference.
Yeah, that we can go to the Emirates and frustrate Arsenal. I just hope that they don't frustrate Wenger, because Arsenal has just been from a very disappointing European tour, losing out of the Atletico, and now not going to the final. That means they're not making it to the Champions League next season, Tony. And two seasons in a row, I think, will be a frustrating thing for the Arsenal fans.
Of course, it's a big problem for especially all those Arsenal fans that have been hoping that Wenger gets a fairy tale send-off. This is a game that also they are planning to give him a guard of honor from both Arsenal and Burnley fans. So we'll wait to see how that pans out.
Wenger deserves a guard of honor, Tony, no matter the fans,
circumstances.
Yeah, and the fans have accepted now. Everyone knows their position at this moment in time. So it's best to send off Wenger in a more charismatic manner.
Of course, we'll be waiting to see how that happens. Of course, Arsenal are now without their captain, Laurent Koscielny, who sustained an Achilles tendon injury last night, is out of the World Cup as well. But most of the big players had a poor night last night. Ozil, Lacazette in particular, were totally off.
Tony, I expected Ozil to turn up. Lacazette has been in brilliant form recently. I also thought he would turn up with at least a goal or 2. But it seems the atmosphere was frustrating them. Yes, the record at Atletico said that they had considered, I think, 4 goals the entire season at home. I was so scared when I read that stat. But still, Arsenal needed to have done something better than what they did yesterday.
Of course, now they're out of the Europa League final that Atletico will be playing with Marseille come end of May. And now Arsenal will be hosting a Burnley side that has frustrated them in the past couple of seasons. This is a game, though, I think Arsenal players should try and give Wenger a good send-off. This is final home game at Arsenal. They should win 2-0.
2-0, Tony. I think they should win 2-0.
Brilliant. But of course, we know the weekend doesn't stop with football. That football kicks off tonight with Manchester United in 2nd place, traveling to Brighton. This is the first time that they've gone to that place in over 30 years. It will be very, very interesting to see how they do. I've gone for Manchester United 3-1 win, but don't don't play Brighton team.
Tony, Man United, I think, will concede now. I just don't know why they can't keep a clean sheet the last 1-2 games. I think they will win this 2-1.
Of course, we know that Brighton comes into this game with one of their brilliant players who has been a brilliant player all season, Pascal Gross. He has 6 goals and 8 assists. That's not a bad statistic. It's for a player outside the top 10 clubs. It's a very, very brilliant game there that you might expect him to have. Of course, they welcome back David Proipa, another midfielder that's been out suspended. Yep. Pogba has had 3 goals in the last 4 games. He should expect to continue scoring.
Tony, this is the Pogba that we expect to be playing for Man United. I do not know
really as a striker, but he should chip in with a few goals.
Between 5 to 10 for a midfielder, I think is acceptable, Tony.
Pogba should be looking for 10.
You should be looking at the figures, yes, Tony. And maybe the tough love from Mourinho has awakened the Pogba, and also the media has been on his back everywhere. I think they're not giving him pleasantries here and there. So Pogba has tried to deliver, and I think he will continue with that because he needs to sort of be looking for a number in France. It's not, we know how Payet is good and can play a number, so you have to consult and tell the coach.
And he's in the Europa League final.
Exactly. So I think United will win this, as we've said, and they have already taken up their second position, Tony. I don't think it's again being threatened by the other chasing pack.
You still need to galvanize it.
Just galvanize it, though, yeah.
Of course, we'll be waiting to see how Mourinho's troops do in that one. That game comes on tonight, of course, at 10 p.m. Don't miss out on that big fixture. On Saturday, we have West Bromwich, taking on Tottenham Hotspur. West Brom looking to avoid relegation on this weekend, but we know it's not in their hands.
Yes, Tony, it's not in their hands. It's good to say that they've managed to hang in there, Tony. They're going to be relegated, we all know that. But
we didn't think it would go to the final 2 games.
Darren Moore, Tony, deserves a lot of credit for having kept this team at least still going. It's hard for fans to come and watch about 4 games
after you've been relegated,
knowing they're relegated. But with 2 games to go, I think they should be happy saying this team has done a lot, and I think West Bromwich has done a lot after the sacking of Pardew.
Of course, 2 wins and 2 draws in the last 4 games is a big return for a team that had only 1 win in 18 that Alan Pardew had taken care of there. But we know Spurs will be coming here with Harry Kane, a player that's still chasing Mo Salah. You know that he can't give up until the last minute, and he must also be looking for sharpness for the World Cup.
Yes, Tony, Harry Kane is looking for sharpness, but even if Harry Kane got a goal in the previous game against Watford, I still thought Harry Kane struggled in that game. Yes, he had a tap in which he had earlier missed it, Tony. So it will be worrying for Southgate watching Harry Kane in such form with the World Cup almost just over a month to go. So I'm scared for this boy.
Of course, we know that Spurs have scored in their last 23 consecutive games in the league. That's a long run, the current longest in the league for any side. They've scored in those 23 games. We should expect them to score in this one. I've gone for a 2-0 win for Spurs.
I think Spurs will win this, but with a small margin, 2-1.
Big games. Football doesn't stop. All the games that we shall be having over the weekend, we'll be bringing you those predictions and all those updates as they happen on our Facebook page, the Tonny and Tim Show. As usual, would like to thank you for all the love, but we have a big game this weekend as well. The El Classico happens on Sunday night. Barcelona hosting Real Madrid, who are now in the Champions League final. We know that Barcelona already wrapped up the double Copa del Rey for the league. What do you expect in this one, Tim?
Tony, just like you've said, it's called the El Clasico. It is the classic
needs no introduction.
No introduction into this one, Tony. And even if Barcelona has wrapped up the title in Spain, I still think this game has incentives going into it. We know Barcelona wants to go the entire season unbeaten as the Invisibles, and then Madrid is the only team we believe can stop them.
And stop that run.
And the beauty with this fixture, even if Barcelona is at a no camp, these teams, when they approach each other, the home factor almost disappears, and there's an engagement. And I think this is a game that comes Sunday, all our eyes will be glued for something beautiful.
Of course, the entire world stops when it's El Clasico time. We expect that Madrid should try and still fight for second place in the league for them to have any kind of success this season. Yep. If they can get second in the league and win the Champions League, yep, it will definitely not be a bad season for Zinedine Zidane's men. But we also know that Barcelona had a week off while Madrid was trying to negotiate their way past Bayern Munich. A game that wasn't very easy at the Bernabeu.
Yeah, that game was not easy for Madrid at the Bernabeu, Tony. I thought Madrid struggled, but if they play with the same tempo or style, Barcelona won't forgive them the way Bayern was forgiving them. That's why I'm so scared for Madrid, and I've gone for a Barcelona win 2-1.
Barcelona 1-0 is the prediction that I have there. We know that for most of their players, it will be a final season, especially final season for Andreas Iniesta. This will be his final home game for Barcelona. We'll expect the crowd to give him the send-off that he deserves. Of course, we saw it in the Copa del Rey. They gave him Copa del Rey final, gave him a very good warm ovation there from both sets of fans. But of course, football never stops. Like I said on the Tonny and Tim show, we'll be bringing you all the biggest in the news. Oh, and Gerrard just got the Rangers job.
Tony, I'm scared for Gerrard. I think it's a big step for him just to go into Rangers, and looking at
Celtic's dominance. 7 seasons.
I don't think Gerrard will change much in Scotland, no.
Of course, the club need to back him with fundings. We'll be following that story very, very closely as it develops into next season. They have a couple of games left. Even while Celtic already wrapped up that title, he'll be looking to probably have a look at the team that he has at his disposal and the players, and hope to get into next season and try and probably get, with some backing of the board, try and get in some new faces. Of course, we know it's Gerrard. He can be able to lure some good players.
Yes, Tony, I think, and the passion that Gerrard used to play football with, the players should be able to learn from him, and maybe, yes, I believe Rangers will move a step closer. The Celtic is still good for Rangers.
Thank you so much for tuning in. That's all we had on the show. Goodbye for now and enjoy your weekend of football. I'm Tony.
And I'm Tim.